Well, hello, all self-isolators. Oh, I thought I'd pop here on Instagram, kind of like see how everybody's doing. Um, it's a pretty scary time in the world. Um, but I was actually in Bali like about 2 weeks ago. Had an incredible an hour and a half massage from this very talented massage therapist who unfortunately had a very persistent cough. Well, end result, I'm on day 11 fighting coronavirus here. Um, I wonder if anybody else is actually ill at the moment and what it's like. You can probably imagine how like the world situation feels kind of a bit scary right now. But I'd really like for you to think like imagine if you're a nurse or a doctor and you're going to work every morning and not sure if you're going to have protective equipment. At work you're going to see people very severely ill, some people dying around you, um, and and like I've just got such incredible gratitude for people who literally risk their lives to help all of us when we're in difficult spots. Here in the UK, I'm really happy we've got NHS, National Health Service, full of really hardworking people. And I just heard that there's like close to 500,000 people volunteering to help NHS, which is fantastic. And I think that's one of the cool things to see with this Corona thing, how like people are actually coming to help each other out. Like my neighbors have been like bringing me like little little bits. Like last week, I said, fresh ginger is one of my favorite things to boost my immunity, and my neighbors hunted for it for a week and brought me a huge chunk of fresh ginger today. And it's those little touches that people do that are just so heartwarming and amazing. Um, oh, apparently I'm on Wi-Fi, but maybe it's lots of people on Netflix or something. but um, but yeah, I thought I'd also like tell everybody what it's been like. Everybody from the doctors and nurses that I've spoken to, people get different reactions to coronavirus. In my case, I've been having this yo-yo kind of fever. So I'd get like fever for 2 hours, then feel fine for a couple of hours, um, then get fever again, and then it goes away. And I've had like severe chest pains. Like this morning, I woke up in pain 5 a.m. thinking I'm getting a heart attack, because I had such intense chest pains. I've been told that it most likely isn't a heart-related thing, but but I've also been meditating a lot and trying to realize that big part of being ill is also being afraid and dealing with the fear that comes along with it. Especially, I think for a lot of corona patients like me, you have to do it in isolation. So you're literally on your own, in a hospital. Well, like you're on your own, and and getting potentially, progressively worse, and you're like just, going to bed every night a little bit afraid of like how's the night gonna go, and how you're gonna feel tomorrow, and I think that fear also makes the symptoms worse. So it's a really, I would suggest to anybody else who's ill there right now to actually, look at different ways that you can, you know, like detach yourself from fear, understand fear as a separate thing, and not let it take over your whole being. It's not easy. I'm using meditation and yoga and breathing exercises for that. Another thing that a nurse friend of mine was suggesting is that for anybody being ill, to really rehearse, deep breathing exercises, because that's one of the ways that this illness can get really tricky for people, is if it damages your lungs to the point where you have breathing difficulties. And if you're able to practice deep breathing, it actually really increases, helps your lungs to deal with this thing. It's a tricky illness, and it kind of keeps coming back. One of the ways that it was described to me, which made me giggle, it's kind of like an ex-girlfriend that keeps coming back. Like you think it was all over, and yeah, here it is again. I literally just had 2 days of no fever, and then fever again today, and yeah, it's my day 11, so I'm starting to be a little bit bored of being ill, to be honest. But I've been told that it's around this point in the corona illness that normally the most severe symptoms happen, and that kind of almost made me feel a bit better that I had a really tough day today, and just found out that actually it's okay. It's to be expected, and other people who have symptoms from corona also go through this. Really cool to see how much love there is from people. Maybe it's time for a few of your questions. Anybody got any questions on what it's like being ill with corona, or how are you doing? Are you ill there? How's things going? Somebody's asking, did I get positive for COVID-19? I didn't actually get a test. In the UK, the tests are reserved for people who end up being hospitalized, because there could be a shortage of the tests. So rightfully so, they're only doing it when you go to the hospital. Luckily, I haven't had to go to the hospital yet, but I've been diagnosed by 2 different doctors and a couple of nurses. Everybody's saying my symptoms are very typical case of sort of mild to medium coronavirus. Any other questions? Obviously a lot of love coming from everywhere, but yeah, it sounds like we've got people from all over the world. It's amazing how I think an illness like this is a real equalizer. It just makes us all realize that however we might like to think that we can build walls and have borders, we are all people. We all get ill the same. The poor get ill just the same as the very wealthy. It's nothing to do with your skin color, nothing to do with what things you believe in, nothing to do with what language you speak. There's been a little bit of conversation on where this thing started, because it obviously started in China. I would like to say that it started on planet Earth, and hopefully through this, a little realization comes that for example, healthcare systems, you have to treat the whole population. You can't treat just a section of a country's population. That's why I think countries like Finland, where I'm from, and the UK, where I live now, both have national health services. It's not a perfect way to run it, but it feels like you know, in a situation like this, it really is like really wonderful. And if you only treat the wealthy, you can't contain a virus like this. You have to look at everybody. Ultimately, we are all equal. And hopefully, you know, we're all vulnerable to this thing the same. So hopefully that comes through this. Yeah, I think I already mentioned how I caught it. I was in Bali. I had an incredible 1.5 hour massage from a massage therapist with a very persistent cough. At this point, I was kind of thinking like we're all making too much of a fuss about this thing. You know, if I get it, I get it. You know, I didn't really, you know, think that it would be that big a deal. It certainly hasn't been a fun thing to go through. I think I'm still lucky that I didn't get, at least so far, full-on pneumonia, which a lot of people get, which makes it a level harder. And yeah, it's a oh, somebody's saying play some piano. Well, I don't feel like playing piano right now. I think I'm a bit out of energy. Somebody's saying go to hospital. Well, if I could go there and help someone, I would. There isn't like no need for me at this point to be in a hospital, and I would really love to give the nurses and doctors there the peace to work on the people who have a acute life-threatening situation, because I'm sure, you know, there are many people who are having way worse symptoms than me. I really hope I never need to go to the hospital because of this, apart from maybe bring some supplies for somebody or help someone. Quite a lot of people are requesting to be live. It's really interesting how this Instagram live thing works. So, anybody else ill at home who doesn't know whether they've got corona or not? Anybody at home and a little scared? How's everybody feeling? Oh, it's funny. Normally, when I've been playing piano, I can't see all the comments. So this is like a new thing for me to see Instagram live like this. Somebody is asking, can we get a quick house and studio tour? Well, if you can imagine, I've been in isolation. This is my like day 11. I've been ill. It's not very clean here, but I can walk to the room where I play Fortnite and where I play piano. Two things. All right. So this is the gorgeous piano that I play here daily. This one is from 1938, so it's had a really incredible life that it's gone through. It's a Steinway Sons, and it's been reconditioned. And, well, maybe we can play something. I don't know. Let's check it out. How could we do this? Hey, this is cool. been funny, like, because I've been in improvising so much. Certain songs sort of actually just come out of a lot of improvisation. This is one track that it's just like a little thing that I like playing. Full on lullaby mode, right? Hey. And then this is where I play Fortnite. Whee! It's my favorite game. I'm absolutely hooked on it. My gamer tag is POS313. So if anybody else is a Fortniter, join me. And